see everybody here. Thanks to Ryan and Borderlands, and thanks to Malvern Books for being here. Bookstore, a haven, and an exo-brain. Come in here and browse and find what you're thinking and what you should have been thinking, because it's such a incredibly thoughtful collection of books. And I'll start with the poem that's in the journal. I think I called it World War Whatever there, and I'm calling it War Movie, partly because one of the ways I write is by thinking of the occasion or the analog or the something that comes before the poem, although you might not know what that is until you've written the poem. And often for me it's movies, either a movie or just the world that movies create. And World War II movies is partly what I was thinking of, and creating a kind of fictional world out of that, and how to fit that into the small space that poems create. War matters to all of us. Because we see, some of us see it firsthand, some of us see it but are struck deeply by tragedies from a distance. I grew up the son of two Vietnam War veterans who suffered, probably did horrible things, but also suffered horribly when they got back. Father died, my stepfather disappeared. We don't even know what happened to him. I've been writing a memoir for many years. It's not really a memoir anymore because I took the idea of disappearance. A lot of people disappear. A lot of people just go missing. And Facebook is interesting in that you can go into Facebook and you can find groups for missing persons, families. And there are several just for veterans alone. Because they kill themselves in large numbers, 40 a day. They disappear and just walk away, which is what happened to my stepfather. And so I think a lot about it because that's just one small part of the horror of it. The whole bloody world was at war again. Everyone had been captured or killed. My shadow and I were with the last survivors. At night we went back to our barracks and slept 100 Technicolor years. In the morning we started our new job, stacking and counting snowflakes. Someone found a tiny tendril hiding under a crumb of soil. He ate it. He ate spring. Then more snow. Someone said the word escape, and we laughed. On the last day, my clothes put me on, my shoes stuck out their tongues. My shadow had died the night before. I buried him. I cried 2 tears and buried them. Seeds for the next war, I said to no one. As the sun rose, I saw the last of the guards, or the first of the prisoners, sneaking away. The snow was yesterday's snow. I'm a dependable, if shadowless fellow, so I counted the snow. 1. Then I packed and left. In the next war, I said to no one, I want to be a guard for a change. Second poem of 3. Second poem I'll read is a love poem from my wife of 26 years, who's not here. She thinks poetry is boring. Or maybe she just thinks my poetry is boring. I just thought of that. Maybe I have to talk to her about that. But I write these poems for her, and usually after an argument, and I say, there, that's what I really feel about you. And sometimes she'll just go, try again. But that's good, because I do try again, and that's where the poetry comes from, I guess. But one of those sources, those analogs, that's very ancient in poetry, is the love poem, the seduction poem, which often then is coterminous with the hyperbole poem. That's sort of what this is. The other analog for it is, maybe like you, I love to read science books, or it is science for the layperson books, chemistry and physics and stuff like that. And I collect the words which I don't quite understand, and they are like little bits of glass that then become cloisonnés that I try to put in a poem without quite fully understanding what they mean. You tune me. You tune me. When I go out of tune, you tune me again. I'm played. It's your song on my strings you play. You are my first principle, my input, my governor. You bush my bearings. I enter your aperture, prompt for you, buck for you, navigate to you, stutter and wink at plunk scale for you. You are the creature of my middle distance. My third eye groks your animal here and now. It pursues you into metaphysics. It x-rays, glazes, and ethers you. You are my asymptote, my axis writer, obscure mathematics to my rude and runic alphabet. nut to my corpuscle, syringe to my heart muscle, its plasma in charge, its flush and draw. You are my fret, and I gloze you, go blank for you, get spanked for you, expose my flank to the Huns for you. You are my metal hand and its 5 metallurgical virtues. I sing your liturgies, sermonize our lusts, pay your drawers full of fines. I stand as loyal servant to your grossest defects and slave to your divinest perfections. Every rock you touch becomes my pet, and your sloughs are my pillows and skin-scented valentines. You are my wonder wench, my pearl, my peril, my stolen treasure, my leisure, my license. You validate, verify, sanction, certify, charter, ordain, and baptize me. You judge my gestures, extinct shadow puppets, our churlish merit badges. You laugh yourself into and out of love with me, fool me, unspool me, retool me. I enter your lacuna. You are my fugue, my splice, my flywheel, my fluxion, my proleptic, epileptic vivisection of carnal, phonic, and yada erotic hallucinations. I vibrate between your poles, I melt your magnets, I enter your booth many times, I vote and vote. I build on your bedrock, I sample your core. You mix my metaphors with alien liquors. You turn my weathercock, touch my minutiae, lift my gigantica, and gird my elephantiastic ephemera. You are my body, my reach and lunge, my pivot and range. I fantail for you. I was born pre-adapted to you. My life before you was rueful, counterfactual, uncathected, and truthfully polymorphously addled and dull. I love the jump cut of your jib and the fast fraud of your hip. I love how we make mad friction horizontally and vertically, give new meaning to bed sores, enter like fire-glazed prophets into each other's promised lands. You are my gall, my gathering center, my aches and stalls. I am your strange attractor, your Magellanic man. I thought it was pretty good. And the last one, which is dedicated to my friend Robert Verdi. He's a Texan who lives in Colorado. He has a new short novel called The Western Lonesome Society. That's a good sort of Texas novel. And it's dedicated to him partly because he writes a beautiful, comedic, but also very sad fiction, short story novel about mensches, I suppose you could say. And I occasionally borrow, because I can't help it, little tonalities or phrases from him. It's called Turtles All the Way Down, which is that sort of retort. It's a little anecdote, a little legendary story. Sometimes it's about Bertrand Russell. If you read Hawking's, one of his books from years ago, he tells the story is Bertrand Russell talking to some elderly woman who doesn't accept his materialist view of the universe. And she says, well, everyone knows that the earth rests on the back of a giant turtle. And he smirks like a smart intellectual man and says, well, what's that turtle on? She says, don't be pertinent, young man. Everybody knows it's turtles all the way down. It's an interesting consideration of the infinite regress problem, I suppose. It takes every turtle ever born, and most of the tortoises and terrapins. And it's cramped and dark the further down you go. Eventually, though, you get to that first turtle, and he's huge, old, strong. Has he ever seen the bewildering world he helps hold up? Is he really the first, or did whoever counted simply stop with him? I've worked in offices, warehouses, and restaurants where there was always some old guy who'd been there forever. He seemed to know everything, was cranky as hell, not smart and not dumb, but sort of like the hedgehog and the fox combined. He knew about a gazillion little things, like the fox, but also the one big thing, like the hedgehog. That big thing was really just the biggest of the little things, like never push that button there for any reason. And he would trot it out when he felt like humiliating whoever was new. The old guy, in other words, was a huge asshole. But he knew more about the job than the owner or the manager, so he was never let go. I like to imagine the old guy when he was young. I like to picture him arriving for his first day on the job, shy, tentative, a little afraid, maybe even humble. While we're at it, let's say his life was full of promise. Picture him there, a skinny kid, bad skin, greasy hair. It's his first day, and he knows nothing. But some old guy The first turtle, -1, is there to teach the youngster. At that point in history, or at least the history of sucky jobs, everyone was doing his part. No one was standing on anyone's back. Thank you.